What a terrible day to have eyes. What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers, and welcome back to another episode of Cursed Gun Images. Haven't had one of these in a while. Oh no. Yeah, this is the segment where you guys find some of the most heinous shit from all over the internet, whether it be photos of guns, bubba guns, whatever. You send them over to me, and then I break them down and respond to them. It's actually been a while since we've done one of these videos, and you guys have not stopped sending me content for this. So we have some particularly bad ones this episode, so cheers to that. Got me some liquid courage. And with that, let's go ahead and dive right on in. Let's start out with some of my favorites. Police seizures. Not like police having a seizure. Guns seized by police. Little different. How about this one from the Daly City Police Department? This looks like a completely home-built sheet metal MAC-10 submachine gun. It says they conducted a traffic stop on March 14th, 2023. The driver, a 34-year-old male out of San Francisco, of fucking course. Homie was California dreamin'. Had a warrant for his arrest and was in possession of an Uzi-style zip gun. I hate that they called it Uzi-style, because this is an Uzi, that is a MAC-10. It's not a fucking Uzi, but that's just my tism, I guess. Ammunition, drug paraphernalia, and a controlled substance. Let's guess what that was. He was booked into San Mateo County Jail on several felony charges. I love that next to it is a homemade pistol magazine that very clearly does not go to this weapon. I just want to know if this fucking thing works, dude. It's even got a threaded barrel with a thread pitch that does not look like it takes any sort of gun accessory, so I'm just real fucking curious on this one. Direct to oil filter thread. I don't know if anybody's made this joke so far, but I've begun to affectionately refer to this one as the Crack 10. Let's be honest, it was too easy. This next one is courtesy of the Placer County Sheriff Department. Now, you guys might remember from a previous episode, we did talk about the Smith & Wesson, a completely home-built, I guess technically a gun. Don't do drugs, kids. And if you do, no heroin or meth. That seriously fuck you up. The internet coined this one the Smith & Wesson, but this next one I feel like fits the bill a little better. This one looks like an actual Smith & Wesson handgun that has been just absolutely skull-fucked with an erector set. Because clearly every shitty street 9mm handgun needs an optic rail on the top. Because, you know, if you attach a red dot to something, the bullet's going to go where the dot goes, no matter how much of a 20-degree angle it happens to be sitting at. So depending on the distance, you're going to be assassinating the shit out of the dirt in front of whatever you're trying to hit. On top of that, I love the modified AR-15 grip that he's got right up there in the front, which, as it turns out, is a vertical grip on a pistol. That's illegal. I believe that becomes an NFA item, like an AOW, as soon as you do that. So now, on top of whatever crime you committed against, Samuel Colt and John Moses Browning by making a pistol this ugly, you've also committed a literal felony, which adds to the charges of possession of whatever the hell substance you were on while you were making this. Now, this next one may not be from a police seizure, but it is from a gold mine of cursed gun images. I'm referring to, of course, boomer Facebook groups. And on top of that, it's in New Jersey. A buddy of mine said he can mill my slide for an optic, but this is his first time doing it. Should we go deeper, or is this a good height? And does anyone have templates for the holes? Should you go deeper? Yeah, probably. Just go ahead and mill the rest of that slide away, because it's garbage. You can throw it in the trash now. I know some of you watching this aren't quite old enough to understand this premise, but when your buddy says he can do it cheaper, that is rarely a good choice. Why buy once, cry once, when you can just buy this and cry for the entire duration of your ownership? See, the thing about a mill is it's kind of like one of those magic monkey's paws, right? It's going to do exactly what you tell it to do. So if you have no idea what to ask it to do, good luck, have fun. I would bet $30 this gentleman still tried to weld a Picatinny rail to that. Now, I'm gonna have to prepare you for these next couple. You see, they weren't stuff that was originally sent in, they were just stuff that I happened to find on Gunbroker. I have a crippling gun buying addiction, you guys know this by now. And by utter happenstance, sometimes you come across some heinous shit. Such as this next one, the STG-44 at home. You know what's scarier than all these sketchy cursed guns? Being unprotected online. The average person has a ton of personal information available online, even just through Google. Turns out, there's a ton of people out there that profit off of selling your information. Spammers, telemarketers, robocallers, pretty much everybody except the people you want having your information. Like those hot singles in my area that the internet keeps telling me about. Don't fall for it. But the reason I'm talking about all of this is because this video is brought to you by Aura. Aura will identify data brokers that are exposing your information, and then automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. They'll even opt you out of stuff like junk mail and telemarketing lists. And you can use my link down below in the description and in the pinned comment, which is aura.com/Brandon. When you do that, you can get 2 weeks for free and see how many data brokers are out there selling your information. But Aura's got a bunch of other cool stuff. They've got a VPN, password manager, and real-time credit and identity theft monitoring. Any kind of internet security thing you can think of wrapped into one convenient app. So go ahead, use my link or the QR code on the screen, try it out for yourself. See how much of your personal information is being sold out there on cyberspace. Thanks again to Aura for sponsoring the video. Back to cursed gun images. What a terrible day to have eyes. So what's funny about this is if you zoom out, it actually doesn't look too bad. Kind of like an unrestored classic car or that Ford you almost took home from the bar the other night. But if you look into this, oh God, okay. I should have to tell you this is not an STG-44. This is like an HK clone. So this is a C93 Sporter. So think about like a roller lock, like a G3 or a Setmay or something like that, but in 5.56. This gentleman mocked it up to look like an STG-44 by absolutely Hulk smashing what's probably an actual STG-44 handguard onto this fucking thing. Like the barrel assembly actually looks fairly legit. Like that gas block, front sight block, that all looks like real STG-44, the handguard and everything. It looks like the front assembly. It belongs to an STG. Just looks like he took all those components from an STG-44, took a C93 and just went, now Kith, with a hammer. There was a hammer involved. I hate this the more I look at it. I think that's the top. Oh my God. Okay, I seriously did just notice that. That's the top of like an AK rear sight block. Let me find something real quick. Might be a little hard to see because of the Zenitco furniture I've got on this one, but it looks like a rear sight block of the AK right here, welded onto the top of it. And then just like a lookalike STG-44 stock on the rear. Something relating to an STG-44 grip panel on the pistol grip there. This is a C93 that identifies as a Sturmgewehr and has had several platform affirming surgeries since then to reflect that. Of course, this is an abomination, but I don't blame the guy for wanting an STG-44. We actually just finished the rebuild on our STG-44, and we're probably going to be doing a video on that fairly soon. So if you guys want to see me do a full breakdown on a real World War II German STG-44, go ahead and subscribe. YouTube has a habit of unsubscribing a lot of people from the channel. So if you want to make sure you stay up to date on the new videos that we do, go ahead and double check real quick and go ahead and hit that notification bell while you're there. And you know what? If you're feeling frisky, leave a like. Either way, thank you for your service. But that's not the only horrible mismatch I found on Gunbroker. Feast your eyes on the P50 Star Wars prop gun blaster. If you ever wondered what happens when you mesh together the SDI of PPS-43-52 submachine gun with the KelTec P50, I sure as fuck haven't. But that's why we have people like this gentleman who dare to dream. And by that I mean literally just sell the top half of a KelTec P50 zip tied to a PPS-43-52. And I'm not gonna lie, is this stupid non-functional? Yeah. Does it look kind of dope? All right, guilty. Yeah, it does. It pulls off the Star Wars prop look pretty good. So, you know what? I'm gonna give it a pass. I'm just hoping these were spare parts and there weren't two perfectly functional guns that were sacrificed for this thing. On to the next cursed gunbroker find. Do you like trench shotguns? I don't know why I said that, kind of like, do you like Huey Lewis in the news? Of course you do. Everybody likes trench shotguns. Then why wouldn't you want this custom Winchester Model 1887 20-inch 12-gauge pistol grip pump shotgun from 1919? It survived 104 years just to be bubbaed and put on Gunbroker. I kind of heard that Sarah McLachlan commercial, you know, in the arms of an angel, like playing in the background when I first fucking saw this. For just however the fuck much this weapon is selling for, you can take home a trench shotgun and put the actual stock back on it. Now moving on to something that you guys have sent me a ton, actually. To Ukraine! Everybody likes cranks. Cranks are fucking rad. Everybody likes belt feds. Belt feds are even more rad. Well, let's not get carried away. Belt feds are really rad. What if you had a belt fed crank? Well, this crazy Ivan seems to have figured that out. This is from a TikTok that you guys have sent me just clips of nonstop for like the last 2 weeks. Pretty much as soon as this came out, I was just, my inbox was flooded with this. I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is a joke. There are so many people that are sending me this, like, look at this belt-fed 7.62x54R crank-off. Even in part of the video itself, like, he pans over and his buddy, like, just shows he took the bolt carrier group and recoil spring and shit out. Like, he just shoved a PKM belt through this thing and slammed the top cover down. It's funny to see like so many like terminally online motherfuckers that play too much Call of Duty. They're like, whoa, he found a Beltfed attachment for his AK. If you want a Beltfed AK in 7.62 by 54R, I got good news for you. It's the PKM. It's about as close as you're gonna get. Which, by the way, was also made by Mikhail Kalashnikov, if you didn't know. Fun fact of the day. Now, speaking of Ukraine, this next one is not from there. Looks like it could be though, and I think that's what it was originally posted as when I first saw it. Introducing the Riser to end all risers, which looks like it's attached to like an MG42/MG3. This is the kind of riser that you use for a red dot if you're one of those Camino cloners from Star Wars. And looking at it closer, I think he's actually got like a PEC unit in front of that, like an IR laser unit. But judging by the kit of his friend and the fact that they're, assaulting a fairly, industrial looking building, and based on the fact that this looks, 3D printed as hell and really jank, kind of thing that wouldn't survive MG42 recoil, I'm assuming this is airsoft. If I'm not correct, and this is actually real from Ukraine, first of all, I'm sorry, and second of all, Ukraine is down bad, worse than I thought. Pretty sure that's fucking tape around the base, actually. But I saw this on Twitter, and I fucking love that place because the first thing that I saw as a response was this picture. Mankind was not ready for the internet. The only thing that would make this better is if this was actually combat footage. You post this epic assault on a compound defending your homeland and just to get memed on Twitter with a fucking mirrored crab claw Photoshop. 2023, man, it's a hell of a place. Next up, we have one that I've actually wanted to give a shout out to for a minute now. We just haven't done one of these in a while. So you guys remember on a very old episode, we talked about the lever action AK looking mock-up, right? Something about the Soviet John Wayne kind of look. Is it a meme? Absolutely. But you know what we say here? Don't let your dreams be memes. Make your memes come true. So we have this guy on Instagram, Missile Peludo, who actually made a lever action AK from a Saiga style unconverted AK. I saw this original part before I saw any of the rest of it, and I thought like, oh, okay, well you made like a functional like lever looking thing on the bottom of a Saiga. That's pretty cool, but like it doesn't actually work the gun, right? And then I saw in a later video, it actually fucking works. It looks like he's got a string on the very back of that lever there that's pulling through the back of the bolt carrier, that's pulling the bolt carrier back to cycle the gun, which is kind of fucking neat. I'm not gonna lie. Is it the sturdiest setup? I don't know. Does it work? It appears to. I just hope he welded up the gas port. That'd be a little uncomfortable to be shooting that gun, and then as it's cycling, that lever is just whipping back and forth at Mach fuck. Is the concept cursed as hell? Probably. But at the same time, AK Smith to AK Smith, hats off to you, sir. Sometimes in the sake of fun, you have to stop asking why and start asking, why not? Until you get to this. Now I'm asking, why? It's like a 3D printed mag there, and it looks like a parts kit, an AK parts kit that was very crudely welded together, where the rivets were supposed to be. On top of being, brightly colored and rusty as shit, and apparently painted at one point. Oh, bonus points for the tactical hose clamp up front with that painted green weapon light. It's not even a weapon light, it's like a pocket flashlight. Steel casing as a charging handle, not altogether cursed, just in this exact setup. It adds to the flair. I love that the dust cover also has very obvious welds on the top of it too, where he tried to probably weld an optic rail or something like that, like a pick rail. Yeah, okay, that was a pretty good reminder of why sometimes we ask why and not why not. As a little bit of a bonus, you guys might remember that me and Cody went down to Nashville recently. Hung out with a couple of cool cops who did some cool things and saved some lives. And with that in mind, I present to you the ultimate unstoppable force meets immovable object. I present to you the KelTec Sub 2000 with an LVPO on it. I feel like I just fucking divided by 0. If you don't get that joke, stay innocent. Those last couple guns weren't too bad. I feel like we blew our load too early, so to speak. I'm sure you guys can sympathize. I feel like we showed all the really cursed guns right up front. There's no way at the very end we could top it with, oh. I don't have a... There's a lot going on. Well, thank you guys for tuning in on another episode of Cursed Gun Images. If you have your own suggestions, be sure to send them in. But if you'd like to watch some of the other episodes of Cursed Gun Images to make sure that you're not sending in a duplicate, we've got the playlist down below, where you can watch Cursed Gun Images to your heart's content. We got a lot of cool content coming up. We got a Darwin Awards video coming up, some cool range stuff I've been waiting to show you guys. Super excited for it. So be sure to subscribe. And as always, I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top. Backpack, you can stop, 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 can stop.
These were actually stuff that I just happened to find while looking on Gunbroker because I'm a crippling gun addict. Oh, crippling gun addict, that sounds terrible. I'm not a crippling gun addict, I don't cripple people.